Football players who make lots of money sometimes make massive mistakes that end up costing them a ton of their cash. These errors range from buying really expensive things to putting money into things that are quite risky. Let's dive into a few stories where football players found themselves losing a bunch of money because of choices they made. Cristiano Ronaldo. As we are going to talk about money mistakes by footballers, why don't we start with Cristiano Ronaldo? As we all know about his supercar collection, the one he really liked was his fancy car called a Bugatti Veyron, and he spent a whopping $2 million on it. In 2022, he wanted to drive it while he was on vacation, so he had the car sent over to where he was. But things didn't go as planned. While it was brought to him, his bodyguard driving the car ended up crashing it into a house, causing a whole lot of damage. Ronaldo owned up to the problem and said he would pay for all the repairs. Even though he had a bunch of money, this mistake still made a dent in his wallet. But could you imagine a legendary player investing in an illegal property? Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi, one of the greatest playmakers, also messed up with his money a bit. He bought a house he'd been dreaming of in Ibiza for $11 million. It was a great villa that looked like a dream house for any person. However, it turned out that the house had been changed without getting permission from the government. The amendments and expansion were brought in without any authorization. This made the house not legal, and Messi had to destroy a part of it, losing several millions to make things right. This was a big lesson that even famous people can run into legal trouble with wrong investments. But could you imagine someone wasting millions on a thing that doesn't even exist physically? Neymar Jr. Neymar is a football player known for his lavish and careless lifestyle. Even though he has a lot of money, he got really excited about the overhyped art pieces NFTs. These are like special digital pictures that people can buy online. Neymar got started by spending $25,000 on one of the Apes exclusive collections. But then he kind of got carried away and ended up spending more than $1 million on even more of these digital images. Seeing him using these NFTs, other people and celebrities also invested NFTs got hyped up more and more. But once people started to realize that there's no actual worth of these, the price of these digital pictures crashed, losing over 80% of their value. Because of that, Neymar lost a lot of his money. What's worse, he got mixed up in a project that was accused of not being honest about the prices of these pictures. This got him into trouble, and he had to deal with some serious legal problems. Most of the time, players lose money through incidents, but could you imagine being betrayed by a strong friend for some wealth? Paul Pogba. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. He learned the hard way about putting too much trust in the wrong people. He used his money to help his friends and family. Unfortunately, not all the friends deserve that title. In fact, one of them did something really bad. He stole Pogba's credit card and used it to buy things. This hurt Pogba's trust in people, and things got even worse. Some criminals kidnapped him and said he needed to pay them $13 million to be set free. Scared for his life, Pogba ended up paying the money. But besides money, he lost the trust of a friend he cared about. Now imagine you're a famous player and you launch a brand of your own, and even after proper execution, your investment goes into a pit. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic wanted to start his own clothing brand, but things didn't go well. Even though he was famous, his brand didn't become popular. He ended up spending a lot of money on it, but not many people wanted to buy his clothes. This ended up costing him over $20 million, which shows that even famous folks can have troubles when it comes to business projects. As it said, only a business mind can make money through business. Let's move to a player who had to choose between a $45 million deal or transfer to his favorite club. Vinny Jr. Vinicius Jr., a young football star, had a problem with the deal he had made with a company called Nike. He signed a contract with them, but then he joined Real Madrid, who was sponsored by Adidas, which is Nike's biggest competitor. This caused some issues with their contract, and Nike eventually decided to not support him as much as they should have. He ended up losing a bunch of money, around $45 million, when he had to end his contract with Nike. You might think that the choice of the Brazilian talent wasn't the smartest. However, his childhood dream was to wear the Real Madrid Blancos shirt, and so he decided to follow his heart rather than his wallet. These stories remind us that money can be quite tricky, even for famous football players. These players' experiences show that everyone can run into money problems and should be really careful about the choices they make. Hopefully you liked it. Make sure you give a like and subscribe to the channel.